Hello everyone, Lawrence here again with the Cycliq Fly 12 and Fly 6 smart bike lights. I posted a really long video about these last week, but sadly my user experience got ruined because of a combination of connection issues with my Garmin GPS unit, and on my behalf that was also a mistake, a lack of research into these lights. Now I have unlisted the old video, but you can still see it through a link in the description because I don't want to censor myself or just hide my mistakes. So let's start with a fresh look at the Fly 12 first. This is both a 600 lumen bike light and an always on sort of dash cam, but for your bicycle. So don't confuse it with an action cam, as both the feature set in hardware and software and the image quality simply aren't there for action cam use. This is strictly speaking a dash cam for your bike, or a handlebar cam, I guess. On one side of the Fly 12 is an LED light which goes up to 600 lumen, which is plenty for your commute, although I wouldn't really want to use it as a sole light when I'm doing night rides in the forest. The battery inside is 4000 milliamp hours and should give you up to 2 hours of light at this highest setting, while also recording at the highest setting. And then next to the light is the Full HD camera that can do up to 60 FPS. I would definitely recommend setting it to 1080p 60 just to get most detail from your video. The camera records to a micro SD card, which is not included, and it will fill up an entire card and then overwrite the oldest footage when it's full. So I would recommend going with somewhere around 32 gigabytes to always have enough data recorded without spending crazy amounts on very large SD cards. Now, if you're afraid that a file will get overwritten, you can simply lock that file down by pressing the Q button, and then it won't overwrite that file. And you can set how long those files will be, up to 15 minutes. And in case of a crash, it should automatically log the file for you. At the back of the Fly 12 is both the speaker and microphone, so this device will beep at you to indicate battery life, but I personally found the beeps incredibly annoying, so I muted them. And sadly, the battery indicators are on both sides of the light, so you can't see it when you're right on top of it when riding a bike as you would. So I would prefer if the light was somewhere else and probably more visible as well. Battery life when recording obviously depends on how bright you have the light set, but you can get up to 8 hours from what I've read online. And you can charge the battery pretty quickly over USB-C. Cables are included, but a charger isn't. The way you mount this light to your bike is with an included plastic mount, which sadly snapped when I tried to use it, so I went with a stronger GoPro mount instead. But that looked really messy, so then I got this out front Garmin GoPro combo mount, which I definitely recommend getting, but make sure it's long enough. Sadly though, these better mounts are not included, despite the light costing you a whopping 270 euros for only a 600 lumen light, so that is something I would like to see included. Image quality isn't good enough for use as an action cam, but that's okay, I guess. It'll be enough to show what happened in an accident, and during daytime, license plates are legible. The camera also records audio, but this is mostly just wind noise, so let's just not waste too much time on that. Moving to the rear light then, this is the Fly 6, which is also a camera light with much of the same features as the 12. However, here you just have red light, so that means that when you're recording at nighttime, you just get red footage. Everything is just red, especially if water or dirt kicks up and goes in front of the sensor. It's just red strikes and a red blur everywhere. So this also is only really usable during the daytime when the footage is just good enough. The rear light uses a different mount, so this is a rubberized Velcro strap, and you get two of those in different lengths. Now I did find that even the shortest version was too long to put around a road bike seat post, so I did trim it down a little to make everything look a little bit cleaner. Now both of these lights communicate over Bluetooth and N+, so you can set them up using the app on your phone, although you can't connect to both of them at the same time, and that does make setup just take a little bit longer than I would ideally like. For me, a bigger issue is there is no way to import video. Now Cycliq says this is of course to improve battery life when there's no high-speed Bluetooth or Wi-Fi available, but at this price I would just, like that sort of functionality, and then you could just turn it off when you're not using it. Now the settings basically include image quality and how loud you want the beeps to be, along with which light mode is available, although here in Belgium a pulsating light is not legal, so just have it on max brightness or off. That were my two options in the settings here. Now you can also connect these lights to a Garmin light network, but sadly not with my Garmin watch. Now the light can be set to turn on or start recording, or both, as soon as you turn on your Garmin device, which is a really interesting feature, but it was incredibly annoying to me when I first started using it, and that is why my previous longer review of these lights was very negative, because my Garmin was just constantly interfering with what I wanted these lights to do. That would actually make more sense than just always be on even during the daytime. Another mode that is available is a bike alarm mode, but these lights are almost as expensive as my commuter bike, so I just take off the lights. So to conclude my thoughts on the Cycliq Fly lights, I think they can definitely be beneficial to people who commute on a busy but very well lit city road. Being able to see license plates after a hit and run can be crucial to find out who ran you over. But at nighttime, this is simply not the case with these cameras. The image quality also isn't good enough to use it as an action cam, making these niche products serve an even smaller audience, in my humble opinion. Anyway guys, that was it for the second attempt at reviewing these lights. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe, do all that sort of stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.